So as fun as Splinter Launcher Abbey is, let's go with something I can rely on a little bit more so I can at least get to different higher levels of darkness because, yeah, Splinter Launcher Abbey, or Grenade Launcher Abbey at all, really, is quite a fun time, but it's not, again, it's not exactly fun for my prog, so we're going to play Hibana, as I call the build, because it's all about fire, and we'll see if we can actually build into it. If we can't, then we can't. But usually there are enough levels to set up for it. But now with the sheer quantity of perks we have available, we may or may not be able to do it. But if I can get it, it'll be cool. If not, then whatever. But I call it Hibana because you are literally making. Like some sigils with fire, which you do when you are using a lot of rapid fire builds, but in this particular case, I want also bounce and splinter. So those being active means that the whole screen or everything around Hina within a certain radius just becomes fire, and then you see fire zigzagging each way, and it looks cool, basically. And thus I have dubbed her Hibana, or at least the builds that are built around fire. Obviously, if I'm using the flamethrower here, then my only damage is going to come from fire, mainly. Unless I choose to get summaries either as an auxiliary or a sub source of damage. That said, Burns damage is still kind of equal, I'd have to say, in my opinion. But then again, you do need to build up to it. Because, for those who don't know, burns do stack, so if I shoot this guy twice, he'll start ticking for 6 damage instead of 3. And if you keep shooting at something, it'll tick for a certain amount. I'm sure it's just that the damage and the numbers show, but I don't think the stack refreshes. So if you shoot a mob with fire once, and then 6 seconds later you shoot it twice, it will tick for 9, and then it'll start ticking for 6 for the 2 shots in succession that you hit it. Of course, these most normal mobs, at least at the very beginning, only have 24 HP. So you won't see them tick for a lot, but on bosses you'll see it. And when you get, as I repeated, when you get to the end, and especially when there's a boss, you'll see the damage flying around, and it's like they're getting shot by normal bullets. But until then, we're here and we have to deal with a huge mob here, a huge main mob to run around. So but the nice thing about fire is that you can kind of time it. So you see me put the exploding mobs on fire, and it'll explode in the middle and do a lot more AoE than it just shooting the one in front and only getting anything that's right behind it, really. That said, I do want levels. I want minimum movement speed. No, actually, I want movement speed, if possible. Otherwise, I need to pick something that will allow me to put more damage faster. That way, when I'm reloading, when I'm reloading, it will allow me to move out of the way before I can concentrate on a quote-unquote burst of damage by adding burn stacks. So I've been playing around for a bit. Actually, I messed up my first recording because I accidentally muted the whole thing. So it was gameplay of me playing Spark, and there was no audio over it, not even game audio. So I figured that wouldn't be quite a good video. It does have me unlocking everything because the points that you have from 10 minutes carry over. But since 20 minutes is out now, you might as well just play with whatever you have. A lot of people have found success with Hina, at least just trying to unlock things immediately. Otherwise, everyone else is good too. The new characters are also interesting in their own ways, and people have found fun ways to play them. Usually from the closed beta testers, I think there was 50, but but even then, it's not like I'm not jealous or anything because, well, I wouldn't really. With my time, I don't have the time to actually properly review, so if I was going into a closed beta, I have to dedicate a lot of time to at least make the game better, and that's something I don't really have as much right now. So they would make the game worse if I had signed up for closed beta testing. If it wasn't 50, then it was anyone who signed up to a number, I think. I feel like that was the one. Otherwise, correct me if I'm wrong. So you'll notice that I took extra bullet damage, extra projectiles, because the bullet damage doesn't really matter when you're hitting them initially for 3 or 2 now, but but the burn stacks still do the same amount of damage, which is why you're effectively doing a lot more damage than the damage you lose, as opposed to, say, if you put this on, if you grabbed a grenade launcher or shotgun, although those do have their own merits to taking more projectiles at certain times, or just in total if it's part of your build. But for burns, it doesn't matter if I'm shooting 6 bullets and my damage decreases to 1%, because all my damage is coming from burns, which are not affected by the initial bullet damage. So you see the hitting things for 2, but they still are ticking for 6 or 12, because usually I'm hitting things twice. So I really want movement speed right now. I don't know how I would play without movement speed, really. But I'm sure you can do it. I'm not doubting that you can't do it. Or, I'm not doubting that you can do it. Sorry, excuse my grammar, but I would really like it. But if not, I'm just going to build into pyromancy, fire, flame, whatever we want to call it. And let's see. Oh, that's right. I'm Hina. I can dash. Haven't been dashing for the last 4 minutes, near 5 minutes. But not that her clone... yeah, her clone is what it is. On higher damage builds, you'll see the more direct use of it. But here it's nice too. At the very, very minimum, it gives me movement. It gives me movement options. So, yeah. So, and then if I stack damage on the boss, yeah, he's like ticking. It's ticking for like 51 damage right now. So, also I got hit there. I shouldn't have gotten hit. He only has 2 hearts to work with, so I really don't want to get hit here. That said, so. Yeah, let's keep building onto this. There might have been a better upgrade there, but I chose not to use it. And I need to survive for the next 20 seconds so that this box can disappear. And I need to dash out with the clone. Otherwise, I'm just going to get mobbed there. That said, since I don't have... I probably should have picked lightning to complement the amount of ammo and the amount of bullets I'm going to be expending, so that I can at least try to clear out the squishies, and then I can just concentrate more on the boss. But then again, I mean, it's all going to be worth it. Usually picking a perk isn't so bad, but when you combine perks at certain levels, there are times you want them and times you don't. Splinter obviously showing more effectiveness with more mobs, but early game you don't really see it as much. Although, really, minute 1 and 2 aren't really so bad, so you can argue that eventually building into Splinter specifically... Splinter is a part of a lot of people's builds, let's just say. Or from what I've seen, anyway. But yeah, a lot of the closed beta testers have already been finding fun stuff, but let's find out. Let's find out together as I try to get... So, me killing a horse boss here is kind of important because the upgrades available here. I'm also running away from all the experience, but I really want to get rid of this. Hopefully the boss doesn't die right in the middle of all the ads. Oh, unless I die right there. Well, moving on. I kind of autopiloted there, I'm not gonna lie. I should have been circling back to the experience, but that was my fault. Alright, let me focus a bit more, but I'm still gonna kind of commentate. Again, nothing really too special here. Go watch other people play this game. I'm sure there are a lot of people who will. And we can eventually, I'll be definitely bouncing back between Sampire Revivers and Minutes Till Dawn. So, we'll see. And both games being what they are, I assume the updates will be coming quickly. Well, for Sampire Revivers, we will definitely be seeing updates, quicker updates. So for me, it's gonna fit more into my schedule, but we'll see. Also, I'm still level 1. I said I was gonna focus a bit more, and I'm not focusing on leveling up. That said, I don't know. I feel like picking run and gun is usually a big part of my kit, or at least for survival. But at this, to repeat, I don't doubt you can do it without it. Also, I haven't been using Hina's clone, which is kind of important. I think it still adds burn, question mark? So, well, actually, we can find out right now. So I'm going to look at that ad. Yeah, okay, yeah, it does. So, I should have been using clone more. I didn't use clone for a full 4 minutes. I was playing with the other characters, come on. But, I mean, I also haven't played Hina enough to make it part of my muscle memory. I only played Hina a few times, but I'm really shopping around with every character as I also explained that I self-proclaimed that Scarlet is my main. That might carry over from my time in Final Fantasy XIV. because I play warrior. So I'm very familiar, I guess is the best word I can think of for now, with using HP as a resource more than, oh no, it's only a defensive stat. And I think we have maybe more than one perk now, but definitely in 10 minutes till dawn, we had a perk that, well, it's indirect, but it still interacts with your HP in that when you get hit, you get a buff. So, and we do have regeneration, but that's more defensive than it is offensive. You don't, unless you combine it with another perk. So we're talking more about lone perks, and there is a perk where you get hit. I think it's your movement speed and reload speed increase, if I can recall correctly. I don't often use it because, again, there are not enough perks at the moment that give you offensive power for HP. So, for example, and I know this would be broken, and I don't think it's original. I think someone talked about it, but for every point of HP, you get a little bit of damage. Something simple like that, if I were to give an example, but we don't have anything like that, which obviously goes better with Scarlet. But if we have perks like the HP tree that allow us to increase our HP or regen HP, then there's still some worth there. That said, I'm finally going to take haste, and we'll move on. Oh goodness, please. I forgot. Oh yeah, so there's one little, I guess a weakness, but something that really applies to me mostly is that, so I'm gonna do it right here. So avert your eyes, or not, prepare, be warned that you might get vertigo or motion sickness. But basically, if I do this, you can turn camera shake off, but if you do that, then the camera goes on. I would have liked there to be a toggle. If it's too hard, I understand, and it's not something, again, if you do this, it's not as bad, and you're usually not 360ing your cursor across the screen anyway around your character, but it's something that kind of hurt my eyes, at least. I don't know the exact phrase to call it, vertigo, motion sickness, but it is something I've run into, so... Anywho, I'll probably put that in a chapter. I probably have to now, especially for myself. So it's not an epilepsy warning, but it is a very... it kind of disorientates me. Again, I only mention it more, and I probably could say something in the community, but I was thinking of... I was typing it down and trying to say it in the best way possible, so... You know what? Yeah, we'll take Blazing Speed. Again, this build is a Hibana build, so we're taking everything related to fire, which will help because there's actually a perk that allows you to proc HP regeneration based on inflicting burns. But until then, let's find out. Okay, yeah, I have to actually concentrate a little bit more because I only have 2 HP. Optimally, I don't have to worry about it as much. I should just be optimal with my movement and clearing enemies, but that's not always the case. So, yeah, so Soothing Worth, when you flick burn, there's a 0.05% chance. I think that was lowered for good reason. I understand why, but yeah, that was definitely allowed me to survive longer than that. If you're eating 20 points of damage during the normal course of a game, and there are no perks that support such a playstyle, then yeah, I understand why that was nerfed from 0.5% to 0.05%. So, but still, it's HP recovery. Anything is better than 0%. So the fact that it's available at all means that, on average, you'll still be healing the same amount, and also it makes more sense for 20 minutes till dawn. If you're doing quick play / 10 minutes till dawn, maybe the effects might even change, but we'll see. Oh goodness, I'm risking a point of HP for this. So, yeah, so we get an automatic reload on dash. These are, I think these are also new for 20 minutes till dawn. Oh my goodness, that's right. Double click also does that. Well, now I have this on me. So, it's fine. Question mark, it's fine. And this might be a bit... So, I think something I've been seeing going around is how people are like, well, Shauna doesn't really get much. Although, I would argue against that because, well, re-rolling is pretty powerful. Again, anything's better than 0%. So being able to look for your build faster, at the very least, theoretically, is better. That said, if you don't know this channel, or if you just started watching me, then know that RNG is not something that's been very nice to me in any game I play, including this one. So I shouldn't really be defending. If I care about myself, I shouldn't be defending Shauna's quote-unquote ability, but it still does something to the game. So, and now with character perks, yeah, it let's see, hold on, yeah, we'll take that. Yeah, so now with character perks, we'll see. I haven't played Shauna with I haven't seen her character perks, so maybe she has something more. Of course, since she's the bread and butter character of the game, it's probably something related more to general mechanics, but again, I have yet to see. I won't even talk. I won't say more because I don't know, and I haven't done any research. So, killing the horse boss here is pretty important. It gets you a pretty significant upgrade. All things considered, I should be getting Tome of Elements, but I'm gonna take this because if I can survive this, Hibana centers more around bouncing these fire bullets than increasing the burn damage. So, and this is more for AoE as well. So the more I can shoot, the more enemies I can hit with my shots, the more damage I'll be doing AoE. Of course, burn damage in general probably might be better, but I've already made my choice. So, if nothing else, it goes to show that just because I'm using an element build doesn't mean you need to take the Tome of Elements upgrade. But we'll see if I can get it. I want Bounce or I want Penetration next. Because after this, I need to start putting down Hina's clone. I reload when I do that. And you can also put the clone down just by standing there. So when I get surrounded, hopefully if I can level up first. But when I get surrounded, it'll be a lot more useful to leave clone in place. So you can kind of see it already happening now, but I messed up a little bit. I messed up a little bit with my upgrades because I think I still have dagger on me. Question mark? Do I have dagger? Yeah, I did. I didn't mean to take that, but it's too late. Also, I should be looking at the synergies. That's also something that we get in this early access version, I guess is what it's called. And you can kind of see Hibana already in action. Here's me sitting here doing this. But it's not to the level that I want it to be yet. Again, I need at least bounce. Bounce would be preferred, but penetration would also help. So again, the main downside of burn is that things don't die immediately, but they will die, and they will die just as quick. It's just that all the burst of it dying happens in a second, optimally at late game. But we'll find out because I haven't gotten to 20 minutes yet. Oh goodness, please. And yeah, if anything, I at least want to be able to hit a shot behind me, but we'll find out. Take aim, glare, magic lens, quick hands. I think I have to take quick hands, so... reload rate really not helping me as much because I can reload with clone, but... I'll take it just in case I need to... No, because... Yeah, I think there's a way to control the movement too, because you can... Yeah, you can put the clone down and not move as far by waiting. So when you hit the Hina's ability button, as I try to focus on survival here. Also, yeah, and actually, if I reload too quickly, I don't get the effect of Fulisade, I don't get the effect of Fulisade, which is sometimes what I want, but since I'm still moving around, then I want to make use of it. So, yeah, because there are perk effects that happen at the last, when you shoot your last bullet, then reloading quickly or reloading with Hina clone might not be to my benefit. That said, yeah, so I was supposed to have at least a bounce by now, but I don't have it, so let's hope. Let's hope. I regen HP again there. I feel like if I didn't get a if I didn't get my holy shield back, I feel like I had holy shield. I think at this point I'm just gonna be running a lot, which means I won't be leveling up. Unfortunately, yeah, I'm gonna die there. Huh. Let's try one more time, and I will see. Actually, no, I did die twice. I did die twice in this video. Let's see as I proceed to put chapters in. Again, I keep telling myself I need to focus more so that I can focus on leveling up and stuff. But, which is important here, and also important in Vampire Revivers, any game of this category. I've talked about it in my previous 10 minutes video, or 10 minutes till dawn video, so I won't say too much, but yeah, I need to concentrate on getting HP, which, or levels, oh my goodness. so I can complete a build. Because obviously, if you don't progress, if you don't evolve or increase your DPS, you'll just end up dying. That said, even haste has, or even movement speed has its own kind of indirect increase to DPS. Of course, no, well, we won't. Since we're not talking about survivability or defensive power, you do have the burning blazing trail, blazing speed. I keep forgetting the name of that perk, but the faster you move, the more burns you can put out. So we have something direct for there, but we don't have as much for HP yet. And maybe we do now, but I haven't looked into it or run into it yet. So a lot of interesting ways it can go, and definitely a lot of flexibility. Yeah, blazing speed. Sorry. But yeah, I have not explored everything there is to explore on my own anyway. That said, Hina Clone counts as movement speed, so that's why you see me kind of proccing burns twice there. I assume. That's what I assume, but I'm trying to remember what I said before, what I said in the Lost recording, because some of it was something I really wanted to at least remind myself at minimum. Yeah, let's actually take Electromage. There's nothing better, and yeah, there Shauna would have been a bit better, because then I could have at least re-rolled, but hey. So while Shauna might not be as fun for some people in terms of like gameplay and interactiveness, you know, not dying and feeling more powerful by nature of being able to re-roll into the build you want, or a build that's good, yes, it's just as engaging, I think, but if nothing else, for me, it's fun because of RNG, lol. So when I reroll, I think that video's out. I think I didn't lose that recording. That video should be where I rerolled as Shauna and didn't even get anything that I wanted. Didn't get movement speed and didn't get lightning or electromage, which is what I prefer right for now as Shauna, or Pistol Shauna. I'm sorry. You know, that's not so bad, but I do want Pyromage soon, because I'm doing, all I have is burns, and taking Flamethrower, then you're probably building into fire. So, and until we get a freeze gun, if we do get a freeze gun, it would have to allow us to do, well, no, because that would require a change to. So I'm thinking more the technical side of this game, but. Hold on, let me think for a moment. Yeah, because Freeze currently doesn't do any damage, so it would be a gun that does damage on hit, but still freezes enemies. So, I'm trying to think of, yeah, and so making Freeze do damage over time could be included in a perk, so I'd assume that when enemies are frozen, there's a check in-game that says if you have this perk, start doing damage over time, start putting on a dot, but, like actually changing how freezes, that would be a whole overhaul, and introduce the game to bugs. So when people ask for things, they need to realize that something as simple as adding damage over time for freeze, just as base mechanic, can introduce a whole bevy of bugs, because some perks or things are not. That's right, rapid fire goes into bounce. Some things in game are centered around maybe freeze not dealing damage over time, if we're using that example. And so that introduces more bugs and glitches that can possibly crash the game. So therefore, that's why I'm talking more in the sense that maybe there's a perk like if we do get another freeze tree for damage anyway, the first one would be freeze starts dealing damage over time. But then after that, you can have fun with it, basically adding procs in for freeze. But let's see here. Not that. Do I just go... we'll take in the win. Because we have blazing speed already, we might as well play with it. And when I get full state, when I get bounce, I don't need to worry about not really loading. If I get that Hino perk again, I need to start moving back towards the experience. But if I do get it, then I need to keep Phallusate full. I can't say that word. It's an actual word, and I'm failing to say it. But when I get it, I need to make sure I keep in mind of it and not reload with Hina Clone until I get Hibana set up. Anyway, so yeah, invincible during your dash, so I can dash through things. And anything in the way gets burnt? Let's test it out. We'll take Holy Shield. And then let's, yeah, I don't have penetration yet. So, actually, I should burn that. So it looks like I do. I can't tell. Oh, because I have blazing speed, it's harder to tell. It's because when I pass through things, I might be proccing burns, so... I think I can pass through 2 enemies side by side now, but I'm not gonna... Yeah, it looks like I can, because they're... because how it works, and it looks cool how it works, but, so allow me to try to explain it, and someone can tell me if I'm right or not. I haven't looked into anything, so I'm making a guess. But basically, when you press Hina Clone, there's a duration of time, I don't know how many frames, let's just say 20 frames, where if you're moving, your movement speed is increased, or, well, yeah, we'll just say movement speed is increased. So, if you don't hit a button, that's why she stays still, so you're not forced to move. But you can also stagger her clone and move, so you can do this, so I didn't move as far, to kind of control my movement. But if you hold it, you get a big movement like that. So I assume, yeah, after you press the ability button, there are a certain amount of frames you get to where if you move, your movement speed is increased, which creates the animation, not illusion, because it's actually happening, the animation of Hina doing a dash like that, and actually moving far. I guess we're taking Electro Mastery. I guess we're turning into Shinobi Master Hina. But I don't have Freeze yet, but Freeze is good auxiliary perk tree right after everything, especially when you start getting surrounded, because you can pave the way, or you can stop enemies from coming close if you're more stationary. It's pretty nice. So really, we're running into Shinobi Master Hina, but Hibana sounds cooler and it's more concise. So, so we still have 2 HP, and actually this horse can't catch me if I think, well, without. Okay, let me not die here. Oh, I thought that was a pickle for some reason. That was an that's the eye enemy. But yeah, let's keep adding burn stacks to this thing. So yeah, again, the immediate damage, the burst damage is not there, but it's technically still there because the damage over time is scaling. How much? It's taking yeah, 33 per. Oh goodness, please. And I'm also running away from everything. I need to not do this. I actually need to start running back up, because I want experience that's on the ground. As sparse as it may be, if it's not sparse, then I need to pick up all the experience. But still, trying to get things would help. So now, with rubber bullets, we finally start building into Hibana again. Since the bullet damage doesn't matter, because all I'm trying to do is inflict burns, which always does its stable amount. It's not part of your weapon damage. But it is indirectly, so... Unfortunately, I didn't get fire rate, so we're gonna take elements, which is a good sub, and we'll do this. So yeah, if I had fire rate, this would have looked a lot cooler. But I mean, the burn damage is still burn damage, so things ticking for even just 1 point more adds up when you add when you hit something 3 times in less than half a second. And then it starts ticking for 12 damage now as opposed to 9. And I think enemies right now have like around 36, I want to say. So we're still technically Hibana, but we're not we're not Flame Master Hibana. That said, ooh, that's right, I can dash through things. So yeah, when you hit for a certain amount of frames, you get movement speed and you are invulnerable, I guess is the would be closer to the actual definition. But yeah, let's find out. So at this point, I want fire rate because I want to be able to mow down enemies that once I start getting either surrounded or a lot of them come towards me. To that end, I want to be able to shoot a bullet behind me. I'm forgetting the name of the perk, but oh yeah, I can dash past like 4 enemies. Man, I want to say 3, but let's find out. Yeah, so definitely 2, but I don't want to end up inside an enemy because that will get me killed. So, we'll dash through. If I was anyone else I'd be dead. But, if I was anyone else, granted, when you get their builds correct, it won't matter anyway. But the whole point is that Hina can dash through them. And thus why she has less HP. So Siege would be nice. Yeah, actually Siege is nice. Since I can't reload with Hina Clone anymore. And I can kind of just stand here until I need to move. Theoretically. If I find myself getting really surrounded, then I need to start, I need to dash out, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I also need to go back, oh, I need to go back to the experience, but I don't think that's possible. But I need to, because I need to level up to survive even longer, at least longer than 10 minutes, but we'll find out. At the 9-minute mark here is when it stuff is really going to kick off. So I need to make sure I should be at level 15 minimum, I say, but that's not happening. So, yeah, so fire rate here would have been what I really preferred, but I mean, the elements is still cool. It's doing at least more raw damage, but I'd be getting more enemies burnt, and I would be stalling enemies because there's still some knockback, even with almost no knockback. When you take the Tome of Fire Rate, I guess is what I'm going to call it for now, because I can't remember the name, but I need to move towards. So my excuse for just cutting into a run is that I'm just doing progression right now, at least trying to unlock the the challenges, which are basically my bare requirement before I really start having fun in this game, doing my own thing. It's not like I'm not having fun now, but yeah, we'll take Fanfire. But again, while I'm allowed to focus. Also, you see, oh my goodness, as I keep getting hit here, oh my goodness. Maybe I shouldn't be recording when I'm doing this. Maybe I should just concentrate, you know, just do my own thing outside of recording and make sure I can, make sure I actually get things done. In the meanwhile, now I can kind of relax a bit more. But yeah, that diamond perk interacts with her having HP. But what I was saying earlier would be more towards general perks, but we'll see what happens. I mean, the game is in early access right now, is what it says, so I think that's what it says in the community, too. Quick hands. Take aim. So, bullet aim, but I actually want the spread, so I should be looking at the trees. I need to remind myself to do that, but run! I don't have run and gun yet. Oh my goodness! Stop me! Stop getting hit! Well, it's too late now. So now I'm working with 1 HP. I could just end up dying here. Also, again, yeah, there's no way to see me cut, even if I say, even if I'm about to bring up this point, and it's a good point, but you can see my currency after I die, or if I exit out, which, again, mine carried over, but it's not like I played for a lot. Maybe I should start doing that. Well, no. I'll hold on to it. Okay, let me just focus for a moment as I... Watch me focus and still die. Let me see here. Palisade, which... Yeah. Doubles base projectiles. Yeah, we'll probably take Palisade here. Because, yeah, I'm doing less damage concentrated, but it's more AoE damage. And ultimately, every perk gives you more DPS. You're never gonna level up, aside from maybe Dragon Egg, but they all have their payoffs, usually. So... And that would be really weird, because that would not be as great game design unless, again, there's a purpose behind it. Clear out the way in front, and then clear out the main mob, and then focus horse when it comes. Oh, I almost killed myself there. Please. Yeah, so I want reload rate. I'm going into pure damage, but I do want freeze eventually. I should have... too late now. So we'll take a big shot here. Now's my chance. So let me improve my fire rate is decreased, but it's been increased, so effectively still getting damage bonus. Still doing more DPS. That said, I would like more. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, good. And we'll keep moving. I wanted to keep the things in the past. If for no other reason, then yes, I am human. I'm not going to put a run in where I just end up succeeding. Okay, let me focus, actually. That was not good. I shouldn't be focusing boss so much, but I don't have really much of a choice when... Yeah, so with Scarlet, I usually like to just make my own way forward. I don't like running as much, though it makes sense. Scarlet has the HP for it, in case bad things happen. Right now, I don't have the HP, but you get what I mean. Let me reload quickly. Oh, please get me out of the way of this horse. Run and gun. Unfortunately, I'm going to take this. Get me out! Alright. Let me focus. Oh, my goodness. Well, I would have died there. That I know for sure. And let's see. Yeah, we're going to take the monkey scarlet route. So, more power. And basically, I'm just mowing my way forward. Of course, bad things can happen, but let's find out. I also just need to not get hit by a projectile, which would be very nice. Okay, good. I thought I died there. I should be taking Frost Mage, all things considered. And yeah, we have Shatter. That's right. We do have Freeze DPS. What am I talking about, me? But for now, we're gonna take Run and Gun because I still want the movement speed, even though this is the kind of the swarm phase of the run. Yeah, I want movement speed. I don't know. Again, maybe I'll find out, but for now, Run and Gun is usually something I just pick up. Movement speed and Run and Gun, when I see them, I pick up almost priority 1. Aside from, I think I said Pistol Shana or Lightning Shana, in which I need more DPS if I'm using Pistol Shana. But yeah, for now, we'll be doing okay. But we do need to keep we do need to keep moving forward. As I maybe get into new territory if I survive for 2 more minutes. Almost died there. Let me clear these enemies out, thank you. Yeah, so this fanning out allows me to cut my way forward. That's usually what happens. I've only, on 10 minutes, I've only won twice with Scarlet. I think that's actually the most I've won with one character, but it usually involves me, and I pick Shotgun Scarlet, paving a way forward, so... Yeah, so max HP decreased, but I have a lot of max HP, so might as well use these Scarlet perks while I have them, right? And theoretically, even if you're using a 2-hard character, you won't be getting hit, is the theory behind it. So, as I said before, I minimum level 15, but let's see. Reload, armed and ready, so that's more damage per clip. So allows me to... Oh my goodness! I got clipped by one monster, please! Don't do this to me! Back into it. Gosh dang. Not even showing you my money. That made me so... I'm so salty right now. Oh my goodness. I fired off a shot because of how... Oh my goodness. I shouldn't have died there. So welcome to my channel. This is the gameplay you should be expecting to see. And I'm someone who likes to do challenge things in games, so... Push myself to improve, right? Also, this is really inefficient shotgun use, but I'm a bit tilted. I'll recover in a moment, but give me a moment, please. So, for anyone who's watching me, who's new to at least this game, but if you're just new to this series, this genre of game in general, do know that you're not supposed to be running from things. You want to kill things as soon as possible, to level up as soon as possible, to get stronger as soon as possible. So. Yeah, well, oh my goodness, I guess Magic Lens, we can play with it, but if it's not in, I mean, I should be positioning myself in such a way to make myself do more damage. It's about 30, well, it looks like 30% more damage, but I'm doing okay for now. But if I'm cutting my way through enemies, the lens is not always going, if I'm looking at it right now, the lens is not always gonna be looking at where I want it to go. For example, like there it's fine, but afterward, yeah, we're gonna get Power Shot, but again, I still like Run and Gun better first. So, yeah, so that knockback, I've already talked about it, but for a lesser man like me, it can get in the way. But obviously, once I get better at this game, it'll be pretty much a non-issue. So, wow, really? Please. Well, it's 1 HP so far, but I would have liked to save that. You know what? Yeah, why not, right? So, hopefully I can cruise through, but I do need to start getting stronger. Please. Yeah, we'll use the lens here to cut through, but let's keep focusing on leveling up. Yeah, because the faster you level up, the stronger you get, and to do that, you would need to kill enemies as fast as you can. Which is why until we get an equivalent to Vampire Revivers, where that allows you to make enemies harder, but there are more of them, spawning more enemies is actually what you want. Even if you got 50% more enemies from beginning to end, I don't doubt that that's. I'm sure that's an effect of one of the challenge modes, but it does make things easier, but you have to know how to defeat enemies efficiently, because then you can make use of the higher number of enemies, and you level up faster. Rinse and repeat what I just said earlier. So, that said, I'm not using these explosive mobs very tactically. That's min-maxing, but still. So let's go into the true damage. Quick hands and bullet damage. Those two trees I consider more true damage. Yes, they build into AoE, but that's the nature of the game. We will be getting swarmed by more enemies. So AoE isn't exactly some kind of niche thing. You do want AoE. There are also bosses as well, and I have yet to run into any bigger bosses ever since 20 minutes came out, due to my own dying over and over. But hey. So I could take double shot here, but let's take let's work on increasing our big monkey damage as Scarlet before we move on. Oh goodness, please! I've run and gun. I feel myself moving faster. It's still not as fast as I want to be, but it's fast enough for where I'm at right now. That said, let me focus on picking up experience to level up. No, I was right. To level up. Focus on leveling up. So Splinter is something I definitely want moving forward. And then we'll find out what I want from here. I do want split bullets, preferably my #1 priority. But if I get like maybe even Electromage right now, then it's not so bad. Obviously, shotgun is the quote-unquote worst one to use that for, in my opinion. Early game anyway. But once you start, or if you build into... Well, that's not true, because then you can build into a high clip size and fast reload, so that by definition of being able to shoot 2 shots faster allows you to make Electric Edge. Again, I like the flexibility that Minutes Till Dawn gives us. Igniting Lens, bullets that pass through will inflict burn, glare, vitality. Let's start building into vitality. I just like doing it, but I understand that, or I'm starting to use it as a resource, because it's not mainly a defensive stat. If it was a defensive stat, the pitfall of defensive stats when you're designing a game is that people just design by, people just design by, or people min-max for offensive. I was thinking about that perk I just got. And now, well, I definitely want to build into HP tree, but if I was making a Burn Scarlet or Fire Scarlet, that would help as well because of the amount of HP you can regen. But, moving on. So, double shot, Ice Shard would be nice, Giant to help me build towards regen, but... And regen is a more stable one, you can rely on it unless it's been changed. I should have looked at it, but... we'll save those exploding, or that exploding mob on the right for a bad day. But those that explode there, I mean, I can't really control it. The main mob was there. What do you want me to do? Run more? Yeah, yes, that's what I could have done, actually. That should only need 1 shot, but I have 2 shots on the chamber right now still. So, moving on. So here comes the horse, and we're getting boxed in for a minute. Igniting, Dragon Egg, take aim. I don't really like that. Out of curiosity, though, bullet speed, automatically kill low. So, I mean, again, all perks are giving you DPS ultimately, but... what is our final? All the effects of Magic Lens is doubled, and Magic... its size... And Magic Lens size if halved. What? I didn't understand. Anywho, I mean, it's a passive thing, unless I plan to really play around it, but, let's try to get this horse in view so we can inflict some burns on it! Okay, I was getting stuck, sorry. I accidentally boxed myself in there. Pave a way forward, please. Thank you. I don't know, that's what I really like doing that as Shotgun Scarlet. Or maybe it's just Shotgun in general. And I'm sure other characters can do it if you have a build for it. But, oh my goodness, I wasn't sure where the horse was gonna go, because I zigzagged for a moment there, but... Oh my goodness, please. Please don't get hit anymore, me. Please stop making myself get hit. That said, I do want experience, so let's try to cut our way out of the way there. And yeah, let's find out. Yo, so It's smaller, which seems weird, but I mean, look at that damage. So a smaller sweet spot. But the effects, ultimately the effects are, oh goodness, are much greater. That said, goodness, I would have liked that, but I didn't get it. Let's actually, yeah, let's actually focus on this main mob instead, because I need the levels. Focusing horse is nice, but sticking to our goal of leveling up and stuff is still pretty important. So I should have made use of the lens there. So if I move like this, I don't know if I'll get to use focal point more if I play like this, or if I try to follow around. So you'll notice that I'm running opposite rotation to the focal lens. I don't know if I should be running this way instead, which might make more sense. But no, because yeah, then it eventually outspeeds me, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Need to level up a bit more. And I guess we'll build into full focal lens tree. Which again is pretty useful, but okay, yeah, I'm just gonna go counterclockwise. I think I get more. Oh my goodness, I really got hit by that projectile. Please, me. I think I get more focal lens use out of this. Ow! Oh, I should have used the lens there. Mistakes are made. That said, I'm pretty much circling around experience at this point, and I'm not really focusing on horse, which I should be. Unless I do that. Unless I run into horse there, but let's find out. Okay, it did die, and then now I'm dying. Oh, goodness. Give me this. Fire rate. Yeah, well, let's go fire rate. Let's go completely insane. Because, yeah, so I lost damage, but my DPS is increased still. However, I could just end up dying here because my bullets aren't doing enough damage. Unless I use this, obviously. Which I should be doing. If nothing else, I can run along this focal point, but I need experience. Goodness gracious. We'll take extra HP. So now we're a thick Scarlet, but hopefully this works out for us, maybe? Oh, goodness. Cut my way forward. Find my one way! Don't worry, step in, buddy. No! I'm getting hit. Need a level up. I need a level up in a good perk, please. I really should look into synergies. Fresh clip. Do I need burst or do I want more stable? Yeah, let's do that. So let's find out. If I go along this focal point, things should die. The problem is what happens. I mean, things are bouncing, so actually I need to play around this. I need to play around this. I am focal Scarlet right now, or whatever you want to call this tree. Goodness gracious. Take aim, assassins, or that's something else. Anger point, fan fire, pyromage. Let's try to get Felicite as soon as possible. Meanwhile, at least if I didn't freeze enemies, I think I'd be dead by now, because I'd have no control. I'd have no CC or crowd control. I'd have no CC. No, it's correct. I should have just said crowd control first, then. But I really need to hit the focal point. That said, since I'm hitting my last ammo a lot, I should build into that for more CC. So we're still cutting our way through as Scarlet. However, this is a very technically this is me being stationary and surrounded, but I guess stagger step is the most accurate way to put it. And hey, regeneration, so we get more damage every minute, pretty much. So protect me, focal point. Protect me. Merry-go-round. At the very least, I'm stably leveling up, because every enemy I'm killing in my way is dropping experience for me, so I mean, we'll find out. We'll find out how far we can go. 10 minutes, and we'll be in, or for me, I'll be in new territory. That said, so bullet damage decreased, but it's fine if I'm doing this, hopefully. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. The screen lag. Question mark? So my bullets are bouncing back for a little bit, but yeah, I need to get to level... I say 24, I'd be a bit more stable, but again, I don't know what enemies are going to approach me after minute 10. Oh goodness, this tree! That's not good. This tree is kind of getting in my way. Oh my goodness, please save me. And any enemies behind me, I need to not get grazed by an enemy coming from the side or behind me. Either way. So now we have thicker enemies. However, we might be able to deal with this. Yeah, because I would have preferred to get surrounded, but when you give me bulky, tankier enemies, it's a different story, isn't it? So let's clear out these enemies a little bit. And then go this way so I can pick up my experience, these experience that I haven't been picking up. I need more damage, but let's start building into the rapid fire. And then we'll approach these things again, or maybe not. Can I DPS things down like this? Kind of, not really though. Let's use the focal point. Focal point, I think I'm saying the name wrong, but let's approach you guys. Thankfully the spread, so in an odd way the spread works out for me, but hold on, let me focus. I'm getting surrounded. And these projectiles are not helping me, because if I have to dodge a projectile and I run into an enemy, I'm dead. Also not getting any experience, so this is not good for me. So how many clips do I get before I can focus on the main group? 3-ish. 4-ish? 5... 6... So 6 clips before I get a sweet spot to focus on the main mob. Of course, unless I circle them like this, but I'm not always getting that, so... Oh my goodness, I ran into him. Please! Survive! Live! Live! I don't think I'm gonna live. Not with this attitude, I'm not. Still though. Yeah, and then there's another boss, but I can't focus it right now. I need to focus it because the upgraded drops is probably to my benefit, but... Oh goodness, this is not looking good. This is not looking good! This is not looking good! Please! Please! Oh, that's right, because I still can't technically touch anything while it's frozen. Because I think it does damage. I'm not going to find out with 1 HP, but... Oh, goodness. Oh, my goodness, I'm not firing into this thing. Feels, man. My feels. Please. Can I approach these? Kind of. But I'm going to get surrounded if I keep doing that, so... Oh, my experience, my levels. And by levels, I mean my DPS. It's not changing. No. Scarlet, live! Live, Scarlet! Thank goodness for run and gun, by the way. But I'm gonna get surrounded soon, so run and gun's efficiency as I run to a frozen enemy is not gonna do as well for me.